So often when we ask and intend for one thing, we receive its opposition in equal measures. It has been a big and emotional time for deepening into my dreams and connecting with creating new family story patterns. I have been finding a lot of solace and clarity showing up for my mom as a caretaker and advocate. She needs a lot of extra help, and I have had to move through a lot of resentment for my early years being what is called a parentified child. Yet, I am doing my best to shift my relationship with the narrative of a childhood that has left a lot of emotionally and psychologically to recover from. It helps to have friends who are also doing this kind of emotional processing in their lives as well. And I am truly so very grateful to have the outlet of Pages in Process to help me learn how to engage my ego, persona, identity as a kind of figure that retains some object permanence for me to attune to. Something I didn't get as continuity of parental modeling. A way now that I can find self-security by attaching to a self-image that feels honest, valued, and trustworthy, even as I feel wobbly sometimes, even as I release myself from the pressures to show up perfect. Oof, that recovery from perfectionism runs deeply. And I feel the part of me that still cries for belonging through wanting to jump through hoops, wishing there was a way to set myself up for more courage to be seen in my messy and full love, permission, and acceptance. It seems like I am doing this actually, and I make more headway than I think during these times after long, dark nights of the soul and deep rest. I really feel the need for rest after hardship, even as there is still so much more in my plate to work through as time moves along. Still, we can let it be easy, let it be smooth. Prepare yourself for the stretch so that you don't break. You know how to do this. All we do now is keep putting one metaphoric foot in front of the next and rest into ritual with practice, making, sharing, showing up. This really is all we can do. The rest will continue to unfold. The rest is out of your direct control. Yet, there are relational patterns we are healing that invites more potential for what we want. So, stay close to home for the time being and build your trust with yourself and your daily environmentals. You have solid ground, something you've been looking to build on and grow from for so very long. Your building blocks before were shaky and loose, yet now we are intentional with really fine-tuning our relationships from autonomy, healthy boundaries, and self-trust for interdependence. You lock your steps with ease and show footsteps down the corridors of life. Come into connection with the soft underneath of your own vulnerable heart and love. From there, with moderate expression, ease, and flow. Part of what you are recovering from is dissociation and being at home in your own body, which takes some patience for you to be in close connection with along the way. Self-determine and shine brightly among your corner of the world for certain comforted measures. Keeping tender the times and not choosing hardship from reflex. Rewriting my relationship to the harder experiences of that being in my body piece. We've done a lot of work with our inner landscaping, and there is a dark forest within, which is outside the grounds that we most frequent in our self. And it feels okay to treat it as such, a dark forest. Only entering if and when the forest has a readiness, and we are prepared and attuned for potential dangers. The thing about holding space around my big, dark, deep, dense inner shadow is that it allows me to orient into safety and connection, keeping a larger piece of my consciousness online. I feel very tired and self-aware. Yet I also feel the need for more trustworthy waters and to be with the part and parts of me that want to take things slowly. My heart and throat are aware of history and present-day dynamics that adversely arise when speaking up. I hold my hand upon my heart and know there are certain dynamics I am still making my way out of with considered care and intentional crafting. My heart is here to say and stay the course for redress in the measures at hand. You wrote yourself home and left the basket of fields and flowers upon the doorstep in the safe passage of your bygones and begone ways. You have gained a lot by learning to say goodbye, release, and express from the core of yourself, never again. My lighter ways home are a chilled air on a sunny day. It's okay, I tell myself. You're gonna be okay, I tell myself. Lighter ways can establish safety, connective ease and flow, attunement with more resourcing and regulation. Your intention is to move into healthy, healing, and restorative patterns, to protect from and redirect old pain stories so that we can shift our pattern progress with patience, deeply rooted in care. Your long heart comes home and you deeply feel without getting lost in the waters of emotional dysregulation. You massage your throat and learn how to speak from honest redress. My heart knows a lot and I am in considered care with the frugality of my own making. Sift through your senses and show your match with an arranged path for purpose and poise. You gain access to some kind of measures that bring your home online for safety and honest remark. The space for this all comes into deeper connection with yourself as you move along the way to happiness. You can always find access to more ways than one in the mixture of measured marks. My life and time of reason speaks forward a lot of motion, and you center and re-center yourself with new forms forward. How do you care and craft for the most vulnerable among us, for the most vulnerable within yourself? Start there. You take your time and listen as you move from alignment and mutual trust for care and shared intentions. Hello, friends. Welcome to my little cozy corner. I just did a little writing this kind of gloomy morning, and it is late October. I'm filming this on a Wednesday, and I think I'm gonna try to edit and then pre-plan for its release on Sunday this week. I've noticed that Sundays for the women that I watch that make and share, specifically and especially in the YouTube lands that also have Patreons, Sundays seem to be a really good release date. So we'll see. I keep aiming for, I've been in Pages in Process. So much of this has been about, for me, finding a healthy relationship to the making and sharing process, finding a healthy relationship between my mind and my body, finding a healthy relationship between my creative expression and concept of audience or other or whatnot, which is loaded. And as a performing artist, I think I've done a lot of bypassing that and compartmentalizing, and I really want a secure relationship with my making and sharing process. And the relationship I built with you, with the greater wide concept of those of you who have the sensibilities who want to come into connection with my work, but also the feeling that I am speaking to you individually, to an individual, to a connection point. And there was a while when I really wanted to feel safe enough in my writing where it felt like not my writing, in the sharing of pages and process, where it just felt like I was talking to one of my best friends. And the thing is that over the course of the pandemic, when there's still strains and variants and things like that happening, but one thing that I really came to face in myself and in my community was how much of myself I wasn't sharing, and how much of myself was under wraps, and how much of my wants, needs, desires for connection or for being seen were going unmet. And I lost some dear friends who I will always love in the depth of my heart in the process of practicing in a very messy way, being honest. But I also gained really deep connections with those who stuck around. And it has been so valuable and so nourishing to see the way some of my relationships have really cracked open through this process of sharing bravely, sometimes wildly, sometimes recklessly. But for those of us, me and my deep friendships and relationships that have chosen to keep showing up time and time again, where there isn't a degree of some sort of rift that is registered as abuse and therefore needs to be held space from until or unless there's an acknowledgement and a move for repair. Regardless of people's perspectives, I think it's really important to meet each other in where we're each coming from, that this can be a really beautiful space. So it just got kind of heavy. I'm trying to meet you in lighter ways, and I just don't know how to do that. I'm such a heavy, deep feeling person, and I have so much complex just adversity in my family that I'm working through. So a lot of that has come out into my work, but also a lot of what I desire is to learn how to let things go a little bit more, be a little more easeful, make and share on a regular weekly basis where I'm not overwhelmed and flooded by the process of it. So this is me practicing that. And thank you for being here with me. And if you are going through something similar, I just put my hand on my heart, feeling you deeply. And if you're just here in support of me to watch me do the thing, or whatever it is, whatever reason you're connecting to this video, or maybe even some of my other videos or work, I just I'm deeply grateful for you. So thank you for being here. And if you're interested in connecting more, I do have some other ways to connect. So feel free to look down into the description below and find out how we can cycle together, either one-on-one or in an online community formats that I'm building to build secure relationship with self, with other, with environment, with community, with practice. And I'll see you next time. Bye.